Welcome to the History Hunter. Welcome to our small adventures with the World War II time frame. History Hunter here and Eagle Eyes, my son. And today you're going to see something that we know you've never seen before, because up on this hill there's something absolutely spectacular that the German forces planted and used for many years. So let's go and find the path together right now. Hope you're doing well. We are out on the touching history tour that Eagle Eyes initiated. And believe me, at this boy's spot, we are definitely going to touch history in a very special way, because what is up here is so unique that we have never ever seen anything like it. And I have to say, it's thanks to Eagle Eyes' very detailed eyesight that we can actually come to a place like this. And what we're going to share with you is totally unbelievable, because very often we come to locations and we find gun positions. Well, you have got to see this, because yes, there were some massive guns here, but it's not about that there was guns here, but how these guns were placed out here in the terrain. So it's going to be spectacular to show you that. So at this location, I'm just going to show you a little bit of the small infrastructure pieces that are still here in the forest. But the Germans did something spectacular here, and you're going to see that, because this is an island, and on this island the Germans decided that, hey, we need to fortify this island. But it's not that they fortified it, but it's what and how they did it. We talk about artillery guns, yes. We talk about some of the largest guns that the Germans ever placed at a site, and not only that, but we talk about how they placed them. And also, how did they get the munition out here? And that is what is so exciting with this place, because it has such an incredible story to show you. This is where our explore starts today. Looks like a beautiful harbor in the middle of nowhere here. Could there be anything here? Well, let me show you. Right there, that is what looks to be like a little structure here at the harbor. But what is it? It is actually an ammunition bunker. And that is where this story starts. This ammunition bunker used to have windows painted on the side here, just to make it imitate a regular structure, a house. Why? Well, that's because this is where the Germans transported their ammunition. As I said, this is an island, and they needed to get the ammunition out here, but also having to be able to store the ammunition properly. So right here, this is where that munition house is still standing today. And now you kind of start to see, wow, this is a much larger thing that we anticipated. And you can see all of this is a huge concrete structure, which is not a house whatsoever. So this is basically the feed line of the system, and we're now going to see what happened next and where does that munition go to. So that right there is the crane used to hoist the munition, the artillery shells, from the vessel that was here, and then it's being transported directly onto a set of railroad tracks. And that is where it starts to get exciting, because you can also see the railroad tracks start to go up the hillside. And this is where our journey here today starts. This is the harbor where they put all the munition into that, and when they needed it, they hauled it in here, and then the switchboard changed direction, and the trolley could start its journey up into the hillside. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. So today there's a little path going up here with asphalt, but during those days it was actually the path of the railroad track system that started the transport of the munition up the hillside. Before the munition came all the way up, it passes this building here, which is the mess hall and kitchen for the crews here. And you can see it's still standing. And I thought we'd just go inside and have a look, because this is where Hans, Wilhelm and Reinhard, they came in here when they needed to have their meal And maybe that was on the top, and this is the bottom level where all the kitchen activity took place. And you can see here, this looks like ovens that was used to make the food. And that is kind of right there. So this is the very first structure that this railroad track passes by. And just imagine these guys coming here for their food and meal every day. This looks very much to have been a water reservoir. 1, 2, 3. Very smoothly made. Maybe water reservoir for the whole kitchen here. And imagine these German chefs going in and out here, dragging the carcasses of sheep and cows into here, creating this sauerkraut for Bernard and Wilhelm. And in the end, all of that food is kind of served maybe on the first floor here, where there used to be a wooden structure, a wooden building. And then the crew members were ready to do their work and to start bringing that munition further up the hill. So why don't we just do that? Go a bit further up the hill and see where the railroad leads us. Did you know that you can become a World War II History Hunter team member, and the artifacts here could be passed on to you in this manner and fashion here by creating beautiful World War II dioramas and displays? You can be the future keeper of something very, very special by the history and the history hunting that we share together. Check out the link in the video description. You can click that and you can become a Patreon team member if you want to. Different kind of perks with for your eyes only videos, travel vlogs, restoration projects, all of that good stuff. And if you want to know more, check out the supporter videos in the beginning of each month. But now let's continue our little adventure. The path of here didn't look like this when the Germans were here, but basically it's the same direction. And everywhere you can see there are steps going into the terrain. Up there is actually where the flagpole was hoisted every morning. So very, very strange to see all of this still here, but you will not believe what is coming up further here, because there are some spectacular bunkers still here and you can walk right into them. Actually, my bad mistake. The first structure was a bathhouse. Absolutely mixed up things here. Eagle Eye has done a lot of research about this location and I messed it up. He came to me and corrected me and said, "Daddy, it's a bathhouse, not a..." So sorry about that. Nevertheless, here you can see we are entering a bunker. And there are several of them here fully available to walk into. And that is something that I really do appreciate. And you can see here, it's actually a pretty substantial bunker.
Hello?
Is it a stable? Or did they store munition in here with dividing walls? Sometimes there are writings in the ceilings and the roof to tell the crew what type of munition was in here. And you can see up here is where the cables were. And there's a hole for ventilation, I see. Very strange with these, never seen that before. So first bunker, 10 out of 10. So happy that they actually leave them open so you can see them. And here you can see there's a trench system leading up here into terrain, and the soldiers could very easily come in through here. And all the way up to the top there are some gun positions, and there are also some huge caves in the mountainside that we're going to show you further up here. There's another little bunker. See how well they're integrated. First they construct the concrete section and then tons of rocks on the outside, and that really camouflages the bunker so well. And in here it's just a tiny little room. Seems like they had some shelves here. Something was hanging here, so I guess a storage again. And there are numerous of these here. This place is also very unique in the way that there are actually a lot of artifacts just laying around after the activity here. Haven't got a clue about what that is. And also there are barrack foundations absolutely everywhere on the hillside here as well. Another one right there. And I love this place because it's so rough. They spent a ton of hours to keep these very, very safe. And on this one, there's at least 2 meter thick cover of rocks on the outside. And that is very, very unique, because that is basically something that you never, ever see. So in here, there's a little detail that I want you to see. That splatter looks like bullet holes. I'm not sure whether that is it. That is it. Wow, darkness. Into the darkness. Wow, and it's original. All of the planks here and everything is 100% original. And once upon a time, someone torched this place. You can see there was a fire here. And this is how it looked inside, actually, of most of these. They were covered with wood. There would be a heating source, a bunker oven. Very often that is where that was placed, because it's the metal sheet protecting the wood in the back, and that's the ventilation out. Even shelves, you see that? Shelves hanging there. So this is to try and create a little cozy atmosphere. But I've come into some of these with all of this original, and there are even German soldiers carvings inside the panels. You can see they carved in dates and names. And one time I remember there was a poem carved in, maybe by a K98 bayonet, and that was fantastic. I took pictures of it, and I said to the owner, please take that piece down and, you know, do something with it. 2 years after, the whole wall was gone. So I don't know what happened to it, but that was very, very sad to see. All right, let's continue. Another one, and you can see they actually almost bolted a mountain on the outside of these things. So I never ever seen so much armor with rocks anywhere, absolutely nowhere whatsoever. So it's like 2 meters thick. So they wanted to have this place really, really safe. Here we go again. Very special colors in here. I guess this is post-war usage. But what the cool thing is that you can still see the original metal doors. And this is one of these places that you just have to love, because here you can enter everything. Kids come and play with kindergartens, and school comes here. Absolutely everything is fully open, in the free, available for everybody to see. And the locals here are very proud to be able to show you and share the history of the island. And I find that very, very cool, because in that way, everybody will learn from this. And yeah, of course, a child could hurt himself playing in there, but you know, also you have to kind of think that you could maybe be responsible and take care of and be there with your child to see that it doesn't get hurt. Nevertheless, what an amazing place. Again, another open, looks like a storage room. Again, oh, I can see there's actually a water tank in there, cistern. And there are some pieces here, most definitely original material from that time frame. Haven't got a clue exactly what it is, but that is a water tank. So this could be a storage and maybe a vital source for their fresh water, which this is an island, there's no fresh water. They have to collect it. And that tap was last used by Franz and Friedrich and Wilhelm in 1945. How interesting, huh? That is so cool. And again, just a little thing in the mountainside, but wow, it speaks volumes, and I'm so happy that we can share this with you. See there, there's a bucket stuck in between here. That means that was last used by one of the troops here. Now it's just tucked behind this rock. It's a bit special to touch this thing. That's what touching history tour is all about. Last time a soldier touched that, he could have been putting out a fire or carrying, maybe he carried water to the barrack for the very last day he was here. Or maybe the first day he was here. He carried water into the barrack and shaved. So it's a kind of a really cool connection, even though it's like a rotten little metal thing. It's like a connection between the past and how cool. Eagle Eye, he just spotted something here. I'm not sure whether I believe what I see, but I think I see that? That is a wash tray. That's a wash tray, enamel wash tray that the soldiers actually used here. See that? That is wonderful. Take that up, Eagle Eyes. And then let's remove this. There are some ceramics down here, but we don't know whether that is just for some lamps or something. Careful, careful. See on the back here? Okay. These could very well be German World War II plates, or maybe they're civilian. I don't know. Looks like it is glass from lamps. Just be very careful with them. Oh, there are some.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt?
Yes.
Let me see.
Doesn't that say Frankfurt?
Oh, definitely look at that. I think that's a Kriegsmarine.
I meant on the back.
On the back.
It says Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. Wow, beautiful. Take that, Eagle Eyes, and put it safe. Sorry.
Keep child protector.
Be very, very careful here, okay? There's a lot of ceramics.
Okay,
if you take that foot further back, please, because you're stomping on my hand.
Sit here.
Oh, there's a marking. Check that. See what it says. Someone chucked this in behind here. See what that says? There's a marking on it. There's a marking on this one.
Finland.
Finland?
Yeah.
Finlandia. Wow. See that? Theodore. Something for Frankfurt. And these are definitely, I think they are Kriegsmarine. See that? These lines here. We're going to see if we can see more of this here. Maybe we have a whole plate in the end. Who knows? Another little detail you really have to look for is the barbed wire fence systems. See here? It is also all over the terrain. A lot have been removed after the war, but they rolled it up and just chucked it around in the terrain and still here. Believe me, that is one spectacular place, and there will be a part 2. But first, let me tell you this: if you want to help us out to reach more locations like this, to go out, research, find, and share incredible World War II history, we have this super thanks feature here. Basically, your opportunity to help us out, to get some gasoline into the fuel tank of the camper van and go out and find and share great history with all of you. This was part of the Touching History Tour. The Eagle Eyes almost did 70% of all the research and all of that. You guys here on that list, I promised I'll take you along, and you are now historical. Because every time you watch this video, you can see that you are part of that. And thank you for your very kind support on the Super Thanks feature that enables us to go out and do what you see. But now, let me tell you, this is just the beginning. This is just a warm-up. We've introduced you to the harbor where they had the munition storage, the bathhouse, the small bunkers laying around. There are trenches there. In the next part, you will see something that I think you've never, ever seen before. The whole reason for us being there are the 2 gun positions. They are absolutely out of this world. And how the Germans managed to do what you're going to see in part 2, I really don't know, but that is just totally spectacular. Also a very interesting tunnel system, and we're going to go up also to a MG position which has spectacular views. But what the Germans did there is just insane, and I think you really gonna enjoy this. Also, by the way, while I remember it, let me show you something here. I promised one of our supporters that I wanted to help them out. There's a lady in Australia. We have a lot of Australian viewers here, and I wanted to put your attention to this channel here on YouTube, Lost in South Oz. That's how it's spelled. Very interesting material that this lady makes. It's about a lot of history in Australia, and I've been
kind of hooked myself. I subscribed, and if you want to have a look and check out what she's doing, I think you really find something special going on there, because Australia has a lot of interesting history, and this lady has started to dig out some of that. And check her out, subscribe to her, and tell her I said hello. Yes, very happy I can help out with that. Thank you for being here, watching, subscribing, hitting the comment field, or letting us have the notification come through. Hit the notification bell, all of that good stuff. Also, there are links to the Patreon thing in the video description. Also, if you'd like to donate something through the PayPal thing to help us to go out with the camper van and find and share more very special locations, well, feel free to do so. All right, I will meet you in part 2 coming up very, very soon. The link will be in the video description, as I said, where it says more. Click that. I think you will not regret it. I'll put it out as soon as I can. In the meantime, everybody, please stay safe, keep smiling, and remember, history is actually everywhere. Bye-bye.